your general thoughts on the game.
Well, hats off to New Hampshire. They, we didn't break them down, and the battles of us trying to break them down on the flanks, they won. So, we try to push our outside backs into the attack. It wasn't real effective. I think that the passes from especially on the right side, just weren't good enough to really make it dangerous. So, with that, they did what they wanted to do, and you can go through.
Sorry, guys.
When they possessed in the middle, when they got to a lot of second balls. I thought we did a better job in the second half of getting to the second balls, but we just weren't dangerous enough. So we just didn't break them down. It's that simple.
Could you talk about the corner kicks for a minute? It seemed like you guys had a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, we wanted, we kept, we do a short corner, but it wasn't on there. We really wanted to drive it into the box more, and we didn't do that. We talked about at halftime, get the ball in, because we thought that even with a lot of bodies in there, that they weren't clearing it well, but I think when we did in the second half, we were a little bit more dangerous. So, but they weren't dangerous enough.
Coach, in the big picture of things, do you honestly feel you guys have a chance?
As of today, we had a good chance. I mean, this obviously doesn't help it. I think now it really comes down to how teams do. How many upsets there are in the conferences and stuff. We were 32 coming into today, but the RPI for New Hampshire is pretty low. So that's gonna, if we drop 10 spots, then we're out, so which could possibly happen. So I think if we made it to the final, it would have been, especially if it was UMBC wins. So,
Yeah.
Because they got a pretty good RPI, so that would have been different. But this makes it very difficult.
Coach, Ben Barry in the first half, he seemed to try to take it on himself and try to beat the defense himself. He had a few good chances, but I think he was a little too ambitious. Or
no, well, he's it's his job is to break teams, break teams down. But what he was doing in the first half is he was settling for things 30, 35 yards, and that wasn't really that dangerous. The goalkeeper's good. So we needed to correct that, and I think he did, in the second half. But we didn't, we needed to break him down on the flanks, and we didn't do that. That was going to be the key to it, and that was,
Okay.
Stephen Knox seemed to struggle a little bit today with just getting free of defenders in the offensive end. Can you comment on how today went for him?
Yeah, I mean, that's some of the battles that we needed to win, and they won them. There was a lot of battles on the field that we needed to, in games like this, you got to win individual battles. It comes down to that, and obviously they won it. They won the battles and deservedly got to go.
What do you want to tell your seniors? This could potentially have been their last game. What do you want to tell them?
Yeah, I mean,
after
we just
four.
Yeah, we just gotta wait and see, and like I said, we'll train on the weekend and see what happens and go from there. We'll train a couple more days, just to, probably take 2 days off and train Saturday and Sunday and see what happens, and go from there. So we'll be together for the next couple days.
What do you tell the freshmen?
The freshmen, I mean, obviously they did a good job and throughout the year, but this isn't what we want, and this isn't where we want to be right now. So I think that's obviously there's some potential there, but this isn't where we want to be. So we've got some work to do. Hopefully we can still have this year to do it. If not, then we'll have to start again.
In the first half, you guys got 5 shots on goal, and then only managed to get 1 more in the second half. Did UNH do something different defensively, or?
No, they were doing the same thing. I think a lot of the shots that we had in the first half was they weren't that dangerous. Only a couple of them dangerous. So that, so it's kind of, you know, I mean, I think we had a lot of the possession, but we weren't dangerous. And that's the way they play, and that's the challenge they give you, is to, you know, you got to break them down individually. You got to, you know, it's got to be 1v1, and that's the case. You know, we always play to, you know, to try to win the game. We weren't playing for penalty kicks or anything. So we needed to finish, and we just didn't, you know. I think if we just broke them down a little bit, then we would have been a little bit better off.
Kevin O'Donnell, the UNH goalkeeper, seemed to play a phenomenal game. What had made him so effective out there?
Well, he's been effective for a couple of years. He's a good goalkeeper. You know, you know, he's a big, strong kid. You know, so I mean, he's been a goalkeeper of the conference, I think, for the last 2 years. So, you know, he's legit. Yeah. We knew that, so we knew we had to get inside to beat him. You know, that's why in the first half the shots we were taking just weren't, you know, that dangerous.
Did you sense a little bit of frustration as the game mounted, trying to get the ball past O'Donnell?
It wasn't past O'Donnell because we really didn't get to him that much, you know. So it wasn't. It was you know, individually. The frustration part was trying, you know, that we weren't breaking, we weren't beating people, you know, 1v1, you know, and that was the frustrating part because when, you know, we knew that the, you know, that we just didn't look like we were going to get a goal. So, you know, so.
And how hard is it to play against a team like UNH that packs like 7 or 8 guys in the
It's
bottom?
frustrating, but you have to, you know, it's part of it. Teams do that, and you've got to be able to solve it. You know, if you're a good team, you can solve these things. And I think we're going to be a good team. Obviously, we weren't good enough tonight, but you have to solve that. You have to be able to solve whatever they give you. You know what I mean? And I think that that was the problem.
Do you have any thoughts on the play of your defense tonight?
Yeah, I don't think they, you know, they didn't really need to defend all that much. It was kind of just isolated attacks. So, I mean, it was, you know what I mean? The key to our defenders tonight was going to be the way they helped us attack and created stuff, you know, and I don't, you know, it wasn't what we trained and hoped we would get out of it. But defensively, you know, it wasn't, you know, the effort was all right. It was just, like I said, it was really isolated defensive. You know, defensively we just isolated times that we really had to defend. You know, they had a bunch of corner kicks, I think, at the beginning of the second half, but that, you know, that kind of all came off of one corner kick. I think they ended up with like 4 corner kicks off of one, and so.
Between the end of the regulation and overtime, what did you tell your players on how? Were you trying to go for more aggressive? Because that's how the defenders play a little bit more up.
Well, they were doing that the whole game, you know, and that was the start. You know, that's what we were trying to do, you know, and because they have so many guys back there, double teaming Noxie and double teaming Ben, and so that, you know, that was going to leave them wide open. So we knew that they were going to have to basically win the game first, and you know, a midfielder, Michael or somebody coming through, and it just didn't happen. Yeah.
That's it for me.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.